the under-17 goalkeepers of Nigeria that brought home the World Cup for us. I think, of course, his first name, but I do remember that second name. So it's great to also meet his name. So please, your introductions, ma'am.
All right. I hope I can be seen. I can be heard loud and clear. Okay, thank you so much. I think I was experiencing technical glitch joining, but I'm happy I'm here today. My name is Success Ajiluri. I'm a business analyst. I'm also the founder of Success Transformation Network. I'm currently in the oil and gas sector, and what I do is provide business intelligence consultancy to a couple of businesses. I love to see businesses grow because the challenge and statistics of Nigeria is just a few businesses live up to the second generation, not to talk of the third generation. So there are some foundations and fundamentals that needs to be in place to be able to outgrow generations as a business. So that's what I do. So thank you very much for having me this day.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I particularly love your input about the fact that you want, and also your whole drive is to make businesses outgrow the first generation. Mr. Mola, when he was speaking, he spoke about how UPS has been around for more than 100 years. It would be great to see African businesses post of that, those kind of timeline, and also this kind of generational impact. So thank you so much. I'm grateful to have you here. So I would start again with Molara. So Ms. Molara, there's something that really kind of most likely disturbs businesses, right? Because if you cannot sell, of course you cannot make revenue. You cannot make revenue, you cannot even extract profit. If you cannot make profit, you cannot pay your staff and also even make impact with your CSR. So my question would be, first of all, before you even get for sales, you have to properly price your product. You have to properly price your product so that it can be attractive both to the customers and also not just attractive, but also valuable for what you are doing as a business owner or as a business person. So a bit of my question says, what are some effective pricing and discount strategies that can attract customers without eroding or diminishing the profit margins for businesses during seasonal sales? I don't know if you got my question.
All right, thank you very much. To iterate your question, you're asking how do we get good pricing strategies for seasonal sales, not just for any other time, just for seasonal sales, right?
Yes, and of course, without diminishing the profit margins for the businesses.
Okay. So I think this changes or this varies depending on the service we are giving. This varies depending on the services we are giving and the industry we are in, right? So for industries with little margins, I think one of the strategies that can be taken is economies of scale, right? You know that this season, whoever it is that you're working with, your supplier that you're working with, also has this understanding that this seasonal time is time for sales, and this means that bulk sales is happening. A lot of products are moving, in the supply chain. So it's about understanding, where you are in the supply chain, talking to your suppliers, having this agreement with them that, I'm able to upload this much load off you, and for that I will need this kind of discount. So it actually works, in this way, knowing that you are buying things in wholesale, you're buying things in bulk, you're able to, negotiate better pricing. And in that stead, you can also offer your customers, lesser pricing. Now, if your margin is usually let's say 10% before, you should be able to be like 25 or 20%. At the end of the day, the idea is not to erode your own capital or erode your own sales, erode your own profits. No. If you're eroding your own profit, then you shouldn't really be in that sales. You are not there yet. It's not by force to do a seasonal sale. If you know that you're not able to get you're not able to get value from your supplier. If your supplier is not giving you what you need, try and get another supplier that will give you what you need. But at the end of the day, it's just have clear total plan, know your margins, speak with your suppliers, be able to get more reduced prices, and then all you have to do is just reduce your own margin, maybe 5% if it's possible. There are other strategies that other people employ. I know that there's a lot of things going on now. When you hear Black Friday, where they will give you a price that's already the same price is the same price, but they're not like to you that the price has gone down, but still the same price. There are different places, there are different ways which strategies work. But I believe that when you're in a, when you're in a business for long, you would have understood your market, you would have understood your clients, you know what they like, you know what they want, and all you have to do is just tweak your processes, tweak your strategies to fit into what your market is saying. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, and I'm happy because you've made my next question easier. You touched on the in demand and high demand season of, for example, Black Friday. So my question as a follow up is how do you balance discounts with profitability? Because you just mentioned how some businesses play funny where they tell you, oh, this camera is 100K, but even before that time, it was always 100K, or it was even maybe 105K. So it's not much of a discount. So and that might be businesses in their own, if you should ask them, they will say, oh, we have to still be profitable. So how can business owners balance profitability with discounts during high demand season?
Like I mentioned before, it's depending. It's you and your supplier now that is the business. So if you are giving discounts, then definitely know that it's coming out from somewhere else, right? So we know that there's a high demand and then supply. So at the end of the day, just do the discounts that is comfortable for you and your business, right? So it's just mathematics. If you have to offload like 50 cartons or let's say 50 containers of goods, right? And you know that normally if it was like off season, off sales, you'll only be able to sell like maybe 2 cartons, 3 cartons, and you have to find profit. But when you talk about 50 cartons, you're able to reduce your margin a bit because you know that at least getting profits from 3 it is a lot better than it's a lot better when you get profits from 50. So you're able to gauge yourself in this system, knowing that because you're giving a lot of supply, you're going to get your profit back no matter what, right? Because even if your profit was usually 200 naira per carton, right, and you're selling just 150 cartons, but if you're selling 50 cartons and you put your price at 100, you make your money back, won't you? You still make your money, right? So the idea is just that if you are giving discounts, ensure that there's demand for this. The demand is there to cover up whatever it is that you feel that you might lose. But I do feel that in this type, in the economy you're in or in the market you're in, if you're doing seasonal sales, that product you are selling should actually be seasonal. Like at that period of time, it is a product that requires high demand at that time, right? Because there's another thing when you bring a product that is not in demand and you are forcing yourself to put discounts on it. It's like a 50-50 chance. I'll allow the rest of the speakers to talk on this, especially the guys that are into high demand supply and stuff like that. I'm sure they'll be able to give you a more astute discussion on this.
Thank you so much, Mom. Thank you so much for your inputs. So Mr. Morolayo, I'm coming to you because when during your introduction you spoke, I heard you speak on the fact that UPS also does a lot of not just in our sales, but you mentioned something about your experience touching on pricing and pricing strategy. So that's why I'm coming to you with this. So the question I asked Molara with how can businesses implement effective pricing and discount strategies to still attract customers? What is your take on this? Maybe just a minute and 30 seconds.
Okay, so thank you very much. Molara talks very intelligently. I commend her for what she said. She brought plenty of good concepts. So the first concept she brought out was the concept of costs, managing your costs, negotiating with your suppliers. That's a must right now because you need to relate with the people that supply you. You need to bring down your cost. As long as your cost can come down, then you can afford to do discounts. That is, and still maintain the right margin. So buying in bulk, doing things on a bigger scale, getting so that you can at least get a bit of discounts from them, which can now be transferred Another thing you can do that can help you in selling in this season and still maintaining your discount, your profit margin, is to help the customer. Can we do some instrumental payments? That's a bit risky though, but can we allow the customer to pay over a period of time? You don't have to pay now. I have a lot of customers I work with who use my company's service, and I give them some time to pay. We have a time limitation where we allow them to pay over a period of time so they can pay. They are not overstretched. We give them at least 30 days, 35 days. That is, can you afford to do that? I know that many of the people we're talking to right now are SMEs. If you can afford to give your customers some time, or maybe 2-3 installment payments, that way they will pay at the level they are meant to pay. However, you can now even say maybe a 10% discount, and they will appreciate all things like that. It just helps to stimulate their payment structure. Another thing you can do again in the area of discounts to drive sales properly. What we do here is that we do a lot of analysis. What is profitable to you is the first thing. So if you are making between 15 to 20% margin, yeah, you're not too bad in Nigeria of today. So you can actually bring your margins between those levels. If you are making a 30% margin, you can bring it down to a 20% margin, so as to get more people to patronize. Lara talked about also something that should be in demand. So that's very big for me as a marketing person here. I look at need. What is the need of the customer? It's my first thinking pattern when I'm designing products, when I'm giving discounts. Do the customers really need this thing? And you have to look at it very carefully. Now, let me give you an illustration. In my company, can do, we can ship to any part of the world within 4 to 5, maximum 6 days. I found that that's no longer an in thing in Nigeria. Nigerians don't mind if you take 2 weeks. Just get there at a lower rate. So they are more interested in getting to the locations at any 10 days, 15 days, not a problem. However, please reduce your rates. So the average Nigerian is very they are very what will I put now? They try to avoid high pricing. They are very price sensitive. They are looking for how to reduce their cost because of the current inflationary and economic issues. So now to sell more, even though you are giving discounts, you must actually meet the needs of your customer. You must first start with that. What does my customer need from me? What service shall I give? So what I did was I introduced a new product that is a bit longer. It takes a bit longer time to get to destination. It eventually gets to destination without any issues. And my customers are running after that. They are running to that because it's cheaper. And also, to sell, you don't necessarily have to give a discount. What you should do is find out what can they afford. Can I give them quality at the affordable rates that they have a need for? I don't know if I've explained that properly. I hope I have. That is, we're so related about discounts to try and drive sales.
Yeah.
Why don't we look at an alternative product or a similar product that is cheaper? That way, your customers will run to you better. Because this new product I brought out is novel. It was not happening in any of our divisions. I just brought it out and it's flying. It's giving me a lot of opportunities. It's making me money. So what I do is that I negotiate with airlines because I have different airlines I work with. So we negotiate with airlines that are not so efficient. I have the efficient guys that will do your job. You get you to where you are going, get your package to where you are going to in 3 to 4 days. Those guys charge an arm and a leg. There are some other guys who will get your package across to that location in less price, but they will tell you, you know what, we'll first of all go to Amsterdam, we now turn through here, but when we get there, but you won't pay as much as these other guys, so I've created another product that meets that need. And that is very, very important that we consider innovation. Finally, another thing that can help us, apart from discounts, because we're putting too much effort on discounts, is technology. Technology can drive down your costs a whole lot. I'll give you another illustration again. That in my company, we used to hire a lot of people to do our, to offload our packages, to load our packages, to store. We need to have a lot of contract hands, which we had. All they were doing were just carrying packages everywhere, all over the hub. So now, all we have done is that in a lot of our divisions, we have at least 1 or 2 robotics with AI robots that can help us to move things around the hub, stack them nicely. We have more forklifts that we have put into the area. So technology has reduced the need to hire too many labor. That's why over time it's cheaper to work with technology than to work. So if you can use technology better, it will help you to reduce your costs, thereby help you to sell better. You can even give out some discounts if you have to. But if you use, for example, advertising now, it's not so cheap, but if you use more of social media advertising, use AI to tell you how to run your campaigns, do a lot of work within your systems, you spend little money in advertising, unlike before where you had to advertise at a higher rate. So you can even target your advertisements by using social media and AI to specific audience, targeted audience that can afford your service. So I'll stop here so that other people can actually contribute too. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for giving us a masterclass for that response. But before I go to Mr. Isaac, this question still concerns your experience and also your current company, UPS. So I want to know, and also some of our audiences, they want to know, how do you handle unexpected changes in demand during peak sales period? So now you're so happy about the fact that, oh, you design a product that there is need and all of that, but how do you handle unexpected changes when that demand? If you could help us and keep it under 9 seconds, would be really appreciated.
All right. So that's a fantastic question. So that was when I told my MD about what's going on in my new products. His worry was that, can we keep up with this? Do we have capacity to continue? Look, everybody is in business to make money. So when you have high demand coming in for your products, it's a blessing. Don't look at it from a negative perspective. Look at it from a positive perspective. So now we had to hire 1 or 2 more contract staff to help us out in sorting things out, because the queues in my office are so large that we had to even rent a canopy, that will now be served so that people will not stay on queues for so long. That means we have to spend more money, not a normal canopy, but like a house, a little house within the structure, a temporary structure. We have to bring in people who will do the customer service work. So yes, the higher demand will increase your costs marginally. But if you manage it well, get the right hands, get the right expertise, your cost will go up slightly, but guess what? Your revenues will go up a lot more and your profits will go up a lot more. So don't see, I'll try to educate my boss, which is not very easy, that look, this is a good problem to have. And then we found a way around it. We got a few facilities in place, few resources, called in 1 or 2 more staff to come and help us out. And that was how we were able to settle that. Even at the airport, we had to hire one contract staff to help us do things better. That's all. But the cost was minimal compared to the kind of profit we're making. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate for that response. Thank you so much. So I'm coming to you, Mr. Isaac. So my question, please, could you from the property, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you so much.
I hope my audio is much better now.
It's a Grammy Award winning audio right now.
Okay,
so thank you.
Perfect.
All right, so my question is, what key factors should businesses consider when planning a seasonal sales campaign to maximize their profitability? What are the key factors they should consider when planning the seasonal sales campaign?
The keyword here is to maximize sales, right, or maximize profitability. So I would assume you're already making some sort of profit before now. And I really like what Mr. Morlayo started. Most of the solutions to our problems are with us, bespoke. There's something I learned from our regional manager, Latario, and it's called service provisioning, right? So it works this way. You sell, for example, shoes, right? You're selling your shoes, everything is fine. But in December, most people would probably want to buy more things. So you're thinking to yourself, what can I add to these shoes just for this December period to increase my sales? So you can have a program that says, okay, now this December, we're not doing just shoes, but we're doing a whole outfit package. So once you buy a shoe, we also give you shirts and trousers that go with it, for example. Or once you buy our shoes, we also give you a wristwatch that goes with it, for this price. And we did it successfully, I think, for Big Pride. So, I told you we help businesses connect to their customers. Nobody wakes up and says, oh, I want to send SMS today. What do you wake up and say? Oh, I want to reach out to my customers today. So someone comes and says, we have maybe 200 million budget for marketing. Infobip take and do what you want to do with it. So we then decide, okay, spend this amount on SMS, spend this amount on email, spend this amount on WhatsApp chatbots and all that. So at the end of the day, you're not just selling your product because there is a limited market for whatever you're selling. What you're doing is you're provisioning a service. People celebrating Christmas now, there are needs. If you are maybe digital marketing agency, instead of just posting on WhatsApp, why not partner with maybe a tour guide, a tour company, and say, aside posting on your social media for you this December period, would also help you organize a staff party, right? All you have to pay is X amount more. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to communicate. So just find a way to bundle your services or your product with an accompanying solution for that season, and then it's going to skyrocket. Something that has worked multiple times for us, I can tell you for free. So if it's Christmas time, you bundle something that is Christmassy. If it's a New Year time, bundle something that is New Year's Eve. If it's even a Muslim holiday, bundle something. There's always going to be something that you can attach to your own product that can sell with that season. And that's something I would, swear by any day, anytime.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Isaac. And I love the fact that you touched on the holiday. So I would say for a fact that the layman would know that the holiday season, whether the Muslim holiday, the Christian holiday, is a big period for sales, because even the guys who sell RAM, they know that there is so much demand for that season. And just to put a funny analogy, Mr. Morlayo, when he was speaking, he spoke about how they had to hire some tents and everything. In Abuja, when it is the season where they need RAM, you will see even RAM being in the streets because there is so much space. There's not enough space rather in the market for them to be, right? So beyond the obvious seasons, right, or events, how can business owners, how can founders determine which other seasons or events are most relevant for their businesses beyond the surface ones that you can tell just by knowing that?
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Morlayo already said we're all in business to make money. The ideal scenario is you make money every day in every season, right? And that's why if you could come back and give testimonies, I'll take it. But I can assure you 100%, service provisioning works, right? Because you're targeting your product to every season of the year, every time. If it's Halloween, you can celebrate, right? I'll give you an example. When Access Bank was starting, and I read it in the book Living the Tarmac by the current MD now, he said when they approached MTN to get their business, they didn't just see MTN come and bank with us. As a matter of fact, Access Bank was actually the one that gave MTN the whole recharge card business model, according to the book, right? So they said, you know what, you are selling data, would train staff for you, would give them, trainings on how to sell recharge card, would give them the facility and infrastructure to sell recharge card. And that's why, at some point, there was a whole outage of just all over the place. You had people selling recharge card, buy your card here. It was actually a service provider, Access Bank, that provided that service to MTN. And that's how they got MTN's business, right? For example, before, if you wanted to get a POS machine, you had to go to the bank and give a POS. Now, you're seeing many banks doing agency banking. They don't just give you POS. They give you PS, they give you umbrella, they give you table, they give you chair, they give you somewhere to log into, So you're provisioning a whole service and not just selling your product because, again, your product is always limited. So you provide services for every season of the year. It works like magic. If you don't take anything from me, take this one from me. I guarantee it works. Service provisioning works.
Thank you so much. I think in a summary, two words I could just pick is value addition. Always think about how you can add value, not just selling your own product, but how you can add value beyond the product sale. Thank you so much. All right, ma'am, success. I'm coming to you next. And my question, please, can you confirm your audio is okay?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me here?
All right, yes, I can. Thank you so much. All right, so I love the angle you come from, which is business and analysis, and also they have to deal with data, digesting data, coding a lot of data, and scraping data. So we know that most times SMEs are not really like beyond even being technology averse, talk less of even knowing a lot about data, right? So how important is data in planning for seasonal sales? Mr. Olayo touched on this, how in UPS they look at some data before planning certain things. So I want you to help our business owners and our founders joining us. How important is data in planning for seasonal sales, and what type of data should they be focusing on to make informed decisions, please?
All right, thank you so much. So facilitators have said a lot, and from what has been said already, I'll just add that when it comes to strategy in your business, it begins from planning for a whole year. My expectation is that anyone that is into business now is already planning for 2025. Why? Because in every year, there are several seasons to take advantage of. And for those that maybe are not aware of this and maybe they are just starting up to realize this, I would say they can now go and work with their sales data, customer data, and employ maybe some AI tools or some applications that can help in the analysis of the data, or even an expert who can advise in the aspect of data. Why? Because, and now thank God for even Google Analysis and other applications that can be applied. But I think that any company that or any business, as our speaker has said, we are in business to make profit. And so we must have a good analysis of our sales data and what is really driving that sales. And also a good analysis of our customer segments. What kind of customer, in what hierarchy, in what grades, in what strata are they? Now, we now need to be able to use this data to provide value-added services to them. Every business should be able to tailor its marketing effort to specific customer segments based on their behavior. If we don't know our customer behavior, our customer preferences, our customer needs in each of these seasons of the year, it might be difficult for us to package services that will suit their needs. And also, we should know that testimonials from existing satisfied customers can even do more wonders than trying to buy in new customers or bring in new customers. So we must, if businesses need to leverage on that, they need to go back to customers who are satisfied and people who have patronized before, and encourage them to put maybe a short few second video, few minute video, or a testimonial of how this product or how this service has been of a value-adding benefit to them in one way or the other, and maximize our social media spaces to post these testimonials and these short minute videos, and maybe optimize our websites and also all as the social media handles of the business to be able to push forward what can be provided to other people. So I think that's one. You mentioned what kind of data. I said sales data and customer data, because we must know our customer segments, we must know their behaviors, their preferences, and their needs. And also there are various, like I will also add, for instance, when you are saying you want to make profit, the mistakes that many people make is that they don't realize that the customer pays for everything. Most people that have caught that understanding are not suffering in business. But people that are still being sentimental in their business have that challenge. we should know that customers actually are to pay for everything. Pay for your operations, pay for even your marketing and advertisement. For instance, it's not now one should be saying that, what can I do? What can I do for December? What can I do for Christmas season? No. We would have, as you are making income, or as you are putting together your pricing is not cost plus, is not selling. Your pricing should not be based on just selling price minus actual cost price. There are so many costs involved when it comes to pricing. There is promotional expenses, which should have been factored in the pricing, so that you would have made your profit by now and start, of course, having them in several accounts. As you are receiving your income, you are allocating it into various stratas. The one that will pay salaries, the one that will take care of promotions at may not be end of the year, but at particular seasons of the year. So I expect that there's already budget based on the income you've gotten from the year, because you have done good pricing. You already have that account stacked up for the purpose of Christmas season. And so it's not as if you are going to burn your fingers when you now say you are going to run a promo and all that. Whereas this has been factored in your pricing. This has been factored in your planning for the year. So if one has not done that now, it can be done as against next year, 2025.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for giving us a lot of wisdom. So my follow-up question with some of our audience are having is that, could you share specific examples of how data analysis or an analytics, right, has helped you refine a seasonal sales strategy?
Okay. For instance, in a real estate business, we saw that we have a couple of products, but we have analyzed that from one of them that has to do with just buying land, and we saw that the traffic of customers going to that location was really low. And we now started strategizing that, okay, even if this land is not getting patronage as much as we want, let us think of a better way to sell this product and still get patronage. So we decided to bring about land banking. Okay, buy this land at so price, and we'll give you back in 1 year. We give you back your money in 1 year's time with interest. And a flock of people, subscribed for that. And that was because we have already seen that the data of the traffic coming to just buying land was already low. And we had to think of a better way of adding value to them, not just buying the land.
Awesome. I think a lot of people also would have this question in their heart, that how were you able to return that money to them, that capital, and also the interest? But I think we'll come back to that, because I come from a real estate background, and that is very, really interesting. So we'll come back to that, because people are here to also learn how to make money. But let's not digress. So Paula, I'm coming back to you. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes.
All right. So when you spoke, you had mentioned something about marketing, but also marketing the rightly discounted product so that you can actually get profit as a business or as a business owner. So my question is, what role does personalized marketing and social media play in this?
Oh, marketing is really important. You can't do anything without that. You can do things, but you can't really go far without marketing, right? So definitely, if you want to do seasonal sales, you should make use of the marketing platforms made available: Instagram ads, Facebook ads, WhatsApp referrals, if you can, YouTube ads, Google ads, and stuff like that. So the best way to get your product across is leveraging, marketing ads, personal, networks, sharing it amongst your community, right? So I think marketing is really important in getting your product out there, letting everybody know about this signal sales. So as a business owner, you should be able to have a community, or should have been able to build yourself a community where you can share your thoughts, share your product with, and able to get feedbacks from that. So talking about Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, even chat groups, different kind of groups that you can start leveraging community from. Right. Another thing is also personal branding. It's something that a lot of business users might overlook, but it's quite important. At least I'm just speaking to my own self on this. Personal marketing takes a lot of time, takes a lot of your time, takes a lot of the time that you don't have as a business owner. As a founder, I'll tell you categorically, I have just a little amount of time to myself. Right? If I'm talking about what I'm doing, any kind of thing I'm doing. So leveraging personal branding is also one way you can get your product out there. Trying to be a leader in where you are, trying to be a voice in the community or in the industry you find yourself. So leveraging personal branding is also another way to make your marketing really easy, your target audience. So I don't know if I've answered your question or you have a follow-up for that.
Yes, you have, and I'm so happy you brought in the personal branding aspect of it. Something that is also coming up as a principle in the startup space is what we call founder positioning, right? And I believe it's still the same term, because you're trying to position yourself as not just as a founder, but also trying to position yourself as a thought leader, because people always trust the business that has a face to it, and if you, the owner or the CEO, are not out there, whatever amount or revenue you're pulling in can be much more if you are known, if you put yourself out there through personal branding, through founder positioning. So thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really grateful you brought in that angle. So Mr. Mola, I'll be coming to you next. And you spoke a lot about inventory management, logistics and shipping and all of that. But there's a common notion that logistics is always a problem, both for big businesses, MSMEs, and even the micro guys, right? So should a small business own its own delivery chain or its own supply system, or is it better to work with partners like you?
So I was on mute, sorry. Good question. Should owners own their own logistics companies? Left to me, because I do consulting also, and I consult a lot of small companies. Don't go into what you don't have expertise in. Don't try it. Let me explain why. Logistics is ridiculously difficult in Nigeria, ridiculously. But because we have so much knowledge, over years of experience, we've been in Nigeria for the past 35 years. So we know about the system. The system is demanding. Let me give you a few illustrations. To move from Benin to Abuja right now, if you try it by road, it might take you 3 days. There's all kinds of bad roads, bad spots, horrible traffic. So because of our experience, we know how to maneuver some of these things, but obviously we are still reduced in our timelines. However, it is tough. You need to have the right kind of vehicles. You need to ride the well-maintained vehicles, well-maintained bikes. You don't want to get into all that. You don't really want to get into all that. So what you need is a partner that will work with you so that you will now have the opportunity to face your real business. Because your real business too requires your time, your energy, your commitments. So you'll be frustrated if you cannot sort out what you need to sort out, and then come and take on another person's work and do it. So I always advise that we partner with a reliable courier company that will know what they are doing and have a brand to protect. Very important. Thank you.
Thank you so much. But then I'll speak with you. I'll stick with you right now. I love how you touched on the fact that you also do consulting for other businesses with respect to their logistics need and their demand. So in your time with them and also for some of our audiences who have this on your mind, how cost effective is it to own a delivery arm or to partner with a delivery company? Because of course the idea might be, oh, it's wise to partner with us, or it's wise to do this, but how cost effective it is comparing both options?
Yeah, so the truth of the matter is that not everybody is your. So I run a logistics company. I have my own standards. I have my own. So I would have loved to help everybody in Nigeria. Every SME, I would love to be part of and parcel with them. But not everybody is your target audience. You cannot meet the demands of everybody. You have your own audience. So I cannot serve everybody. However, there are smaller companies who are smaller than UPS who can also serve you. You should look out for the smaller companies. I always advise that you get partnerships with logistics and do not kill yourself. Logistics is highly demanding, highly, logistics are, sorry? Hello? Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, there was a small interruption.
Okay. So logistics major issue is that it has timelines. You don't have an open-ended opportunity to get things done. Your customer needs something on Monday, somewhere in America. Are you going to find your own way of getting down there, looking for someone put inside a bag? You need professionalism. So if you're going to work with the best, it will cost you. There's no doubt about it. It's not going to be cheap. Cost of inflation, in the cost of inflation within the country, even the cost of fuel, aviation fuel is going up by the day because of all the skirmishes in the Middle East and also in Europe, Russia, Ukraine. So the cost of oil is flying. So aviation oil is going up. Airlines are charging more. Logistics, supply chain systems have become difficult. So just to get yourself from here to London, you know what kind of money you pay. I mean, everything has gone up. So if you want to start an export business, you need to sit down, get investors to invest with you, get the right money, get the right people, partner with the right people, focus on your jobs, focus on the areas where you are an expert in, and then leave the logistics people to run it for you. And then if you cannot afford some logistics companies, because let's be very realistic, not everybody can afford my services. You need to find where you belong part-time. You need to find who can service you best at the most profitable way. You need to make profits. Anyone who is not making, I once had a financial head, district head, and he made a statement to me one day. He said, Rolaya, please ensure that you don't serve people and at the same time pay them money. I repeat, ensure that you're not servicing your customers and also paying them money. So you need to consider that you're not paying anybody any extra money after serving them. You're actually making money from the service. So look for the best you can afford at the point in time. Look for the best that will do your job. Don't get involved in it. I repeat, don't get involved in it. You're going to have your fingers really, really burnt, especially in Nigeria. The roads are horrible. The cost of acquiring vehicles, bikes, is going higher by the day. Even leasing a bike right now for a month, you will pay 200,000 naira per month for leasing a bike. I mean, the cost is going off the roof, and it's very, very unattractive. And don't even think of saying you're going to go and use second-hand bikes. I mean, you will spend more money in managing your assets than even on your products. Managing your logistics assets than even the products you are selling in the first place, because maintenance cost is ridiculous. We're in a very difficult time where even importing spare parts is extremely difficult. The importation of anything is expensive right now because of our foreign exchange systems. So you need to focus on your own thing and give experts to run with you so that you don't burn yourself on two different sides. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I
Hope I
really
did
love
that.
him. Yes, yes, yes. I'm really happy that you were not just honest, but also vulnerable about the fact that not every business can afford certain things, but then don't compromise quality for profit. Because at the end of the day, if you do give quality services, profit will chase after you. So it's important to not put the cart before the horse, but to place the horse before the cart. The horse in this case being giving quality services and also the person
You need
your own business.
and you can't provide quality service for yourself in the area of logistics right now, and then focus on something else entirely again. You're not going to work. There are a lot of unrelated diversification we should not even try in business. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Isaac, I'll be coming to you on this. So some of our audience, because Mr. Morlayo and even when Mom Success was speaking about the fact that these are the things that businesses should study, their data, their customer data, their sales data. I want to know from you, how can small to medium-sized businesses effectively compete with larger brands during major seasonal sales period? How can small to medium-sized businesses effectively compete with the larger brands during major seasonal sales periods, please?
So I would pick from what the last two speakers have spoken on. Success mentioned on data. There's an interesting theory called the Clayton Christensen theory of disruptive innovation. Clayton Christensen. Disruptive innovation, and the theory states that it's easier for a new business or an entrant to take over from an incumbent, that's a big business, right? Usually based on the things that incumbent sees as blind spots, right? When Mr. Morlai was speaking, he said something that, ensure you don't serve your customers while paying them money. That's something a big business would say, right? That's something an established brand would say. For a small to medium-sized business, that is your window to enter. The thing with big businesses, and I'm speaking as one that works with a big business also, there is always going to be blind spots. There are things we just cannot do, not out of pride, not out of whatever. It's just there are some things we can't do. There are some projects we can't take. There are some customers we can't attend to, right? For a small to medium business, that usually is your window to enter and maybe overtake, right? So what you want to do is to go to their review pages or check what people are saying about them online. People always speak, customers always talk, find out those things that are blind spots for these established businesses. And that's usually your window to go in. I don't give too many examples from us, but again, every big business, right, there is always that thing, there is always that blind spot. There are things they can't just pick up again because of their size. There's some level of customers they can't pick up just because of their size. And that is your window. Where do you find those things? Go to their review pages, check online, what are people saying about this business? What kind of sentiments are people saying? For example, there are some businesses that no matter what you do, they don't work on weekends because they can afford to say we don't work on weekends. There are some businesses that by 5 o'clock they close and you can't reach them. There's nothing you can do about it. There are some businesses that you can only send them emails. You can't give them, you can't call them on the phone, right? So find those little blind spots, and that's your window to enter. And again, these things work like magic because there's data that shows it. If you're not sure about it, it's called the Clayton Christensen theory of disruptive innovation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm learning a lot today. Actually, I should confess. Not just about the theory that you rule out, because that could easily sound like a classroom, but the fact that the way to also compete as a small business is to look out for the blind spots. What are some of your competitors not doing as a big business, and then ride on those spots because there are always customers who they cannot serve, and try to ride on those blind spots to be able to serve. Because as a small business, I would say you have to outwork the big guys so that you can actually become like them. So at the first stages, you don't have to say, oh, I don't do this by Saturday, and then
you do whatever needs to be done.
You have to do everything to be able to stand. Thank you so much for that honesty.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very valuable to a lot of people. So my follow-up question I have for you is that are there unique strategies that small businesses can roll out or leverage to stand out? I know you've touched on a bit of it, but like practical ones that they can stick from today. And we know that December is coming, but are there like some practical ones that can leverage to stand out?
It still comes to, and I really like you to check it out, to everyone on this call, Clayton Christensen Theory of Disruptive Innovation. The book itself, there is a book he wrote, it's called The Innovator's Dilemma. Please check it out. If you have the reading time, check it out, The Innovator's Dilemma. It really breaks down this whole, theory I'm trying to explain. You remember when banks just started coming out, you needed some minimum amount to open bank accounts, right? And that was because banks wanted to just maintain their balance book. They didn't want to attend to just everybody. Then smaller microfinance banks came and said, 0 account opening, and then everyone just went that way. And then traditional banks decided to turn over. There was also the whole process of, you need to bring this, you need to bring that to open your account. And then banks like OPay came and said, just your phone number is enough, and then you are limited to X amount. And if you want to go beyond that, you can do more. There are always blind spots. Just know that no matter how big your competitor is or whoever is the leader in your industry, there would always be blind spots. All right. Infobip operates in all countries, most countries globally. Right, just last year, I think we did over 8 billion transactions of messages. There are some projects that come to my table. I cover Africa for Infobip. There are some projects that come to my table that I just will not take. Right, once I just see how much is this going to bring, or revenue, or is the stress worth the, I just don't take it. Many of those people go somewhere else. Now, imagine there was a business, and this is also an open offer. Imagine there was a business that was just a smaller version of what we do. And then you can come and partner with Infobip and say, those small accounts you don't want to take, bring them to me. We can easily just push them to you. Now, you're not only competing with us, you're also, cooperating with us. Now, if luck works on your side, your business model works well, then you can branch out and become bigger and then become a real competitor. Another thing you can do is to niche out, right? Someone says that the cash is in the niche. The cash is in the niche. That means the real money you get in your industry is being known for being something very, very specific. That's where the real money is. Not just, you see lots of fintech that says want to bank their own bank. What does that mean, right? You want to provide a specific service. You want to be able to do cross-border payments fast. OPay's major niche was it would always go. MoneyPoint came and said, your money know the hand. Have that thing that you should be known for. In December now, if you're a fashion designer, don't just show, you're a fashion designer, you're doing December sales. You may want to say, okay, this December, you want to start sewing matching pajamas because lots of couples want to do matching pajamas with Christmas tree and all that. Just niche it out. Don't just do for everybody. Just niche out your brand, right? Compete, find the blind spot of the established businesses and then niche out your brand. And very important, please be reliable. Be reliable. If you're going to promise your customers something, be reliable. If you can't do it, tell them you can't do it. And that's something, again, established big businesses can afford to do. I can confidently tell you, I'm sure I can't take up this project. We can't work with you at this time. You don't meet our minimum requirements. And I tell you the truth, and we find a compromise on it. So find your industry leader's blind spot, niche out, and be reliable. It works like magic. And everything I'm telling you is something we do. So I'm not just telling you theory. There are things I do personally, and I can guarantee if you do it, you can correct me on LinkedIn. If it works for you, just let me know.
All right, please, a personal request of mine would be if you could help us with both the book. I think the
Sure.
book is easy to type up, but please the theory and also the book as well with the author. Thank you so much for those actionable tips. So Ma'am Success, I'll be coming to you now. Please, are you on? Yes. All right. Thank you so much. There's a lot of comments about your data question because your data EV, because I believe we live in an age of data. Everyone is trying to see how they can make data-driven decisions, how they can glean data and also crawl data for better decision making. So one of the questions says, how can businesses leverage customer feedback and post-sale data to improve future seasonal sales strategies? How can businesses leverage customer feedback and post-sale data to improve future seasonal seasonal sales strategies rather? Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, first of all, you cannot succeed in the future without understanding your past. We learn from hindsight. So I think the greatest problems many businesses have is even their record keeping is already poor. And that's why I would say, get it right in your personal finance before you call yourself a brand image. Because and the truth is that the business is even about you. And if you cannot drive an accountability system, then you cannot monitor the system, because people, I think it's only what is being reviewed and monitored that actually stays sustainable. But once you allow people to relax, people that are working with you will just relax as well, and things will not go as planned. So how can one leverage on customer feedback and other things? So we must first of all have the data. You have to be interested in this data. If we are not interested in the data, it is already a problem. So we have to be interested in the data and have, if possible, have one-on-one relationship with your customer. KYC is something that banks have adopted because they know that if they don't adopt it, there will be a problem. So we need to understand our customers and have a personal relationship with our customers. Put them in stratas, put them in particular categories. This set of customers like this done faster, like this after sales service, they like things and they like things brought to their doorstep. This one, they like this in a particular packaged way. This one likes this in a particular way. And so that's informed how we now relate with them. And so, first of all, we have to collect and analyze this customer feedback. We have to know how satisfied they are. They have to send us, there have to be a system where maybe like a survey, we carry out surveys, maybe frequently. We can use Google Form these days, Form or SurveyMonkey, send surveys to our customers and see, because sometimes insights come from their responses. They will say, I love the product, I love the bundle service, I love it, but if you can do this, if you can add this, if you can add this, I think I will be more satisfied. I think I'll love this better. Then also encourage customer ratings and reviews. Of course, Jumia does that. Every product that you purchase on Jumia, before you even purchase, some people rather go and check the reviews. Is it 5-star? Is it 4-star? So encourage customer reviews and ratings. And that rating should be a pointer. You can categorize the ratings and say, okay, that means customers need more of this. They love this particular thing. Let's do more of this. So we now invest more in what satisfies the customer, maybe the 5-star rating product or the 5-star rating service. We invest more in that. As Mr. Morolayo has said, he said, we don't try to do too many things at the same time. Don't delve into logistics, don't delve into what you are not, you are not so skilled and experienced in. So leave that to people that are skilled and experienced in. Focus on the feedbacks that your customer has given and now put that feedback in categories and invest more time, more resources in the ones that are working. And we are sure that when we invest in more of the ones that are working, we're going to get better results. And we can now know that, okay, in this season, we are going to invest more in this particular product, this particular service. Also, we need to carry out social media engagements and maybe listening to what customers are saying on social media, use social media listening tools to track like Hootsuite, to track mentions of your business, analyze their sentiments and all those things. Then customer service insights, we need to use that. Now, we now need to work on this feedback and work on product improvements. You can't stand alone as a business. You have to build a team. A team because you need to brainstorm. There are several times business analysts we need to come together and have people of like minds or people that have maybe failed in that aspect, and because of their failure, they've learned from their failure and they can give you insights on how to improve on this particular product. Also, we need to engage in service tweaks. If customers mention delay in delivery or difficulty with navigating your website or getting your product across them, we have to now work on improving the customer journey and making it seamless, so that, because really it's about saving time. So how have your services saved time? How is getting your product saving people's time? And when that is done, I think they will even order more from you and recommend it for others. Also, we have to engage in customer sentiment analysis. And if your feedback reveals dissatisfaction with aspects of your seasonal offerings, maybe pricing, availability, or quality, then consider adjusting those elements for the next seasonal period. So identify your top selling products, because that's where the data analysis now helps you. When you identify it, then invest your resources in this, as I said earlier. I think this issue of inventory management and supply chain comes to play again, because we have to renegotiate with our suppliers. We have to even let them know in advance that we need so level of inventory to be able to meet up with this seasonal sales. And this is my plan, and you work with them. They are your stakeholders. They have to work with you to be able to optimize your profit. And another thing we have to be big on research, monitoring industry trends. You can't say you will succeed in your niche without understanding your niche, without understanding your industry, without understanding your competition, and understanding what your competition is doing. If you need to go to their website, you need to see what is happening with them. You need to go ahead and do it. And of course, you will see maybe one loophole that you can take advantage of. So that's it. And another thing we need to manage is communication. A customer will rather stay with someone who is a company that is constantly communicating with them. So we need to get that aspect right in terms of follow-up communication with our customers. Because the truth is that we get a lot of insight from communicating with our customers. They even give you ideas on how to serve them better. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And you have even answered my follow-up question, which was about some particular metrics that business owners should look out for when running sales. You've mentioned a lot about the customer feedback, tracking the customer sensitivity, and also studying the previous sales history, because that also allows you know what you should do in the future. So thank you so much. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have to listen to the recording. It's same with me to get some of the points that I'm sure attention span must have made people missed out on. So thank you to all the speakers for bringing your wealth of knowledge. So I have just a closing question for you, which I would love you to take in 1 minute each. And I would say, are there any common mistakes or pitfalls that businesses should avoid when running seasonal sales campaign? Are there any common mistakes or pitfalls that businesses should avoid when running seasonal sales campaign? And if you could also share examples of strategies that didn't work out for you and what you learned from those strategies. Thank you so much. I'll start with you, ma'am, success, and then I'll go around the room.
Okay. As you have even been emphasizing, one common pitfall is not even being interested in your data, not being interested in record keeping. And so as you are starting up, as you are getting your business going, you are understanding your reports. You are getting reports. You are getting your sales reports, your customer reports, your logistics reports, and your major costs that are driving your sales. The major costs that are driving your sales, you must get that report and see if it is skydiving, if it is increasing, if you can manage it, if there are loopholes, if there are areas you can cut down costs, because not only by increasing revenue that you can make profits, you can also make profit by reducing your costs. There is always one loophole or the other that can be managed. So we have to avoid that pitfall of not being interested in our data. Another pitfall is not understanding the industry. We need to understand the industry, and the truth is that is now very customer taste, customer preferences keep changing. So if we have this communication follow up with our customers, then we'll be able to understand how it's changing. But if we don't have that communication with our customers, we will not know how it's changing. So we have to get our communication right. So if that aspect is not if that is for, then there will be a challenge in the business. Let me allow the other speakers to add other points.
All right, thank you so much. I would still go to ladies first. Mama Molara, please, are you there? Could you help us with your closing thoughts and your response to the question? Just in a minute. Yeah, I think maybe you have.
Hello, can you hear
Sorry,
me?
can you come again?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Were you talking to me?
Yes, I was saying that as a closing thought, what are the common mistakes or pitfalls businesses to make, and how can they avoid them? And also, if you could share, what are some seasonal sales strategies that you have taken in the past that did not work, and what did you learn from them?
Okay. My advice or the pitfalls that I envision is to not overrate your products and think that because it's Christmas, I'm able to sell like maybe times 50 or what I normally sell, right? So this thing actually takes time. People that are into it know that they prepare months ahead for the seasonal sale, right? So you should be able to be working your market towards that seasonal sales. You should have done some things in the past that would allow you to actually sell as much as you want at the end of the month, because it can get very disappointing when you've prepped your supply chain, you've prepped everything. Oh, I want to sell this much because it's Christmas, and then at the end of the day, it falls short, and you get so disappointed and demoralized that the rest of the year, at the beginning of next year, will look slow and somehow to you. So one thing you should do is manage expectations. Don't expect too much. Not expect too much if you've not done much in preparation, right? Because you need to prepare for some time to get this done. You could have been doing some marketing for some time, maybe like since November or since October, or get ready for December seasonal sales, or get ready for Valentine's sales or something like that.
All right, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Mara. Mr. Mola, I'll come to you on this. Please, what are your closing thoughts and what's your response to that question?
Okay, yeah, so I'll quickly round up. I have had some experiences, some very bad experiences. Let me explain one. We did everything very well. The campaign went very well. The social media experience was done properly. People knew about our December promo. The rush was on. We got all our customers, but we did not implement properly. Because of the rush, there were too many things to be done. We didn't have enough resources. Some of our trucks were overloaded. Some people at the airports, our brokers were not there on time to get a lot of things. Because there was a massive movement of goods in December. Because when you get all your plans well, all the things we have said, do your campaigns as Success has talked about, do your marketing as Omolara has talked about, look for your dark spots that your customers do not have, as Mr. Isaac has said, do all the strategic work, do it well. You will get a lot of customers, you will get a lot of people flocking into your outfits. Do you have the resources available to take care of that? That was the most difficult part for me. So I even lost the deal. You won't believe this deal I lost. In one day, they gave me 16 million naira worth of goods to move out of the country. But because we were not ready for such a rush. One day, I made 16 million from them. I could have been making a lot of money from them, but because we were not ready, this was some years ago, we were not ready for such a rush, such a movement of goods and services out of the country. We lost our customer until today. I'm still trying to get him to come back. Some people will only give you one chance. They won't give you two. mess them up once, they will never come back again. And there are people like that, about 12% to 15% of your customers will not even bother to come and use you again after you've messed them up. So your implementation must be properly done. You must be spot on. You must be ready. You must have you must have a customer service team, a customer experience team that is working. Let me just round up with this. I was in a particular hotel a couple of weeks ago, very big hotel in Port Harcourt. And me and my colleague were watching this lady at the front desk. The way she was attending to us was unbelievable. I'd never seen a Nigerian customer service team that effective. This woman, nice, smiling, attending to us. Her voice was like the voice of an angel. And I was like, I was actually trying to record so that I can go and meet my team back in Lagos. And you guys, this is how I wanted to behave. You know, sorry, sir, 1 minute, I'll be with you. So this is your room. He will help you with your bags. This, okay, you have 4 days. This, she was on top of her game. She was relating properly. So you see, the problem in Nigeria, one of the biggest problems is customer relations. We just cannot relate well with customers. You see your people rude to customers, not apologizing, not saying good morning, not saying poorly trained. Please train your customer service people, because that is a differentiating factor in Nigeria of today. Because in marketing, paying money is pain. So we say pain is pain. I don't know if you got what I said. Paying money is a lot of pain. So the slogan is pain is pain. So you better help them pay better. Provide the right services, provide the right people, provide the right POS systems. That don't tell them to transfer money, transfer to this account. It's more difficult. Tell them also, if you have a card, use this, and let that POS system work. Use the best possible POS system. Play some music in your shop. Nice music for the holidays. Nigerians like Nigerian music. Play some of them. Play some old time songs. Make everybody as happy as possible. Let them come back to repeat sales. It's so important. And then make sure that your processes are top notch so that you don't mess up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. In a funny way, I want to say that what you experienced was what a famous rapper in America said, that he was suffering from success. So at that point, you guys were suffering from success. All right, so Mr. Isaac, I'll come to you, please, your final thoughts.
Yes. I'm going to pick up from where Mr. Moralayo ended, that it's painful when you experience staff that looks like they are being begged to do their job, and usually that's the tipping point for most businesses. But one thing I've seen that works is incentivizing good behavior, right? So aside, everyone is on a basic salary, if you begin to track and incentivize, if you get 0 customer complaints, you get maybe 2 points, right? Or you get an extra bonus. If you're able to get a customer to come back in this December and buy up to X amount, then you get this amount also. You start to realize that most of our staff are more brilliant than we think they are. But because everyone just does the basic thing, they know whether or not we bring a $1 million deal or $5 million deal, we'll still get our salary and maybe profit sharing at the end of the month. But if there is a way to properly track the kind of behavior you want to see with your staff, right? Do you want them to be polite? Okay, track politeness points. Then how do we maintain that? You can figure out a way to track those kind of things and then incentivize. That is currently what Infobip does with many of our roles, right? And so I'm speaking from experience. Once you see that if I'm able to get a customer to take this action, I get some sort of benefit on top of it, then I find a way to do it legally, as long as within the legal framework to get it done. So my advice to round up this session would be, find what are the things you want your staff to do, what are the behaviors you want them to emulate, then find a way to incentivize that behavior. If your customer is acting, if your staff is acting in some ways because they are not being incentivized to take that. And I'm sure there'll be lots of communications and back and forth on this kind of arrangement, but I know it works. I've seen it work, and I can only recommend it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, as you for me this was a masterclass in an hour. So thank you so much for bringing that sort of energy. Please, I would crave your indulgence. There are some questions we cannot take because of time, so we'll be coming to you whether in your DMs to respond to some of these questions. So please, when you do, kindly give us a response so that we can actually share with the audience after this webinar. And also for everyone attending, you can follow Tech Economy on social media and also connect with our speakers. Of course, you can find them up on LinkedIn. Their names you're seeing right now, flyers are also the same LinkedIn. You can find them and connect with them. And any questions you have, any insights you have, you can please share with them. And of course, like Mr. Success said, if these strategies work, please come back and let them know. I think that was a personal request from Mr. Isaac. So please let them know that they can also actually up their game out, because they're also going to be on other platforms to actually give value as well. And this recording will be shared to everyone who attended, including our speakers, and also it is currently streaming live on YouTube. It's been a great pleasure to handle this. Tech Economy is doing this business series. This is our second webinar. We'll be having a couple business series to actually help business owners plan well, effectively manage their operations and actually increase revenue. So please look out for some of these announcements on our social media. It's been a great pleasure. My name is and still remains Imo Anselem. You can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. Same name, Imo Anselem on LinkedIn. And we're so grateful to have had this audience here. God bless. And please, as you build for maximum profitability, and don't compromise, and don't also lower your quality. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.